Genius. Co-creating. Gonna put that screen away. Anybody needs to chat, the chat is open. So grateful for all of you here. So grateful for all of you here. So grateful for all of you here. So grateful for all of you here as we're grounding divine energies of love. Grounding divine energies of love. Anchoring divine energies of love. Anchoring divine energies of love. Anchoring divine energies of love. Holy Mother and Father. Source Creator. Blessings of the angelics. Lord Melchizedek. Brotherhoods and sisterhoods. Star Council. Community of collectives. Highest benevolency and light. Just energies flowing into the etheric chambers, dear lighted ones, as I'm anchoring these energies in with our sacred space. So allow me a few moments to continue this anchoring. If you like to open your divine sacred hearts and also anchor your divine pillar of light and a beautiful sacral cord that moves from your sacral chakra, the crystalline sacral chakra, and moving it down into, through the sands and soils of Gaia, through the crystalline grids of Gaia to her crystalline heartbeat. It will be really important for you today to really ground and breathe. Ground and breathe. And we will focus our intention on slowing down the profound energies that we are co-creating, that are coming through in this very special and very profound energetic movement of this Lion's Gate alignment and blossoming for you all. Lord Metatron, the Holy Christ, Mother Mary. The Elohim, cycles of the Elohim. Earth consciousness, nature and wildlife as you see all around you, dear ones, connecting as a whole into this harmonic song that Source is moving through you. Hi, Anai, 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 Anai. Ancient tribes, master creators, angels of tone, angels of sound, angels of sacred blessings to your manifestations. Those that come to you when you're ready to manifest, we're here with you, dear ones. Your celestial families all tuning in. Various collectives, energies anchoring down through your pillars of light. Breathe slowly and deeply and anchor. Or there will be many new energies moving through you today, dear ones, and this is okay and this is new. For you're getting yourself used to moving within the infinite of new frequencies of the holiness, new frequencies of your Christhood, moving up in vibration. As you reach out and you reach up and you reach within, for it's all within, you don't forget, we'll remind you again and again of the vibrations of the Holy Christ, the vibrations of your sacredness, within and without. But sometimes you forget, and when you're reaching somewhere new that you've never been, we've got to remind you, because this is all new. You're in a new playing field, you're in a new garden, and welcome, welcome, welcome. We come to you today, the vibrations of Gaia consciousness. We come to you, the vibrations of the holy heavenly councils. We come to you, the vibrations of the holiness that's known as the Christ consciousness, crystalline within and without. We'll review with you today as Joanna's getting used to the energies moving through her, for this is new for her as well. Coming together in a sacred communion where you're all gathering and all bringing in new vibrations of the Holy Lion's Gate. The Holy Lion's Gate to allow you the various teachings we'll offer today in what these ascension energies are, how you may use them, and how may you anchor them in through your beingness of who you are as an infinite crystalline energy of God light. Allowing your remembrance of some of the challenges and the turbulences that you may arise with, for Joanna's been through many and why she's here teaching, and anchoring in your power, anchoring in your Christhood so that you remember who you are as the multiverse. Truly multiverse. Your mind cannot understand what this means, for you haven't been taught it in any of your teachings, dear ones, but we're asking in all that you do in all moments to play with this, to allow yourself permission to be the multiverse, to be the infinite. And this will be much of our vibrations offered today, and it might throw you for some spin. It might allow you to feel a bit shaky, for the vibrations are pretty high, but what you do with this, dear ones, it's just your wholeness not sure about it. It's just your wholeness with that little bit of resistance because you've never been multi-galactic, multiversal. This is your infinite coming through. Just breathe through it, and ground. Breathe through it, and ground. And remember in that crystalline pillar of light that will bring your remembrance to throughout today's sessions and teachings. For this crystalline pillar is so very important that we're going to talk about it in one of our topics today, as Joanna comes in and out of these multiverse energies. And this topic of discussion allows you to understand, to take you to a new level of your infiniteness. And this new level of infinite, dear lighted one, this crystalline pillar of light, is your nourishment of all source. But we're going to allow you to play with this in many ways, because this is infinite within itself, and it allows you to explore your infinity with Source Creator as Source Creator in human form. Allowing yourself to be nourished as Source, what this does, and we say with great profundity and energy today, that this vibration of your infinity with Source through the pillar of light, through your breath and through your intention, allowing yourself, giving yourself permission, which you've never been taught, to be nourished by Source. Your nourishment by Source, dear lighted ones, and we will review in our teachings today, allows you to open up. You're infinite. Releasing all limitation, releasing all fear. Because what we're doing, dear lighted ones, if you can tell and if you can feel it as you're feeling your feet firmly planted in the sands and soils of Gaia, grounding yourself with that pillar of light and that sacral cord that just Gaia reaches up with you and anchors within her crystalline heartbeat. It allows you to live as your infinite self as you peek through the veil at things you've never seen or never known. For what we will do today, dear lighted ones, in our high vibrational offerings, is bring you to a state of your remembrance of who you are as infinite with the Creator, and hopefully you manage yourself to be comfortable with it as you practice with your infinity. And you actually begin to peek through many veils of your own that you've created through time, that spiral we call experience, and you become timeless within it through your pillar of light, through your allowance of Source, through your allowance of the nourishment that Source provides. And you open up in a multidimensional way so that you're just going into the unknown. For what many of you are ready for is higher dimensional co-creating and higher dimensional visitation and higher dimensional experience with your families and with your teams, creating new vows, creating new experiences and excitements. And you must peek through the unknown and allow yourself the permission to peek through the unknown and reach into the unknown. And it might cause you a bit of fear and resistance, and those are the turbulences and the challenges that we talked about earlier. And it comes with many things depending on what your soul contracts are here to override and transcend. And we say override, dear ones, because we want you to understand that you are a master creator of your existence, and you can transcend any obstacle and anything that comes up as a fear or resistance. For that resistance, just saying, I'm not used to this, this is kind of new. For even in this moment right now, Joanna's new to these frequencies. But she's committed and devoted to allow Source to live through her. And it will be in this way that there will be things unfold that will be unknown. For it's unconditional trust, dear ones, stepping up to that new platform of living and experiencing your sacredness. The infinity is all that you are. Things unknown, things unseen, but it comes from your divine sacred heart. And that's the allowance of your nourishment from your divine sacredness. I allow Source to nourish me. I allow Source to nourish me and all that I am. All my needs are met. I allow Source to nourish me. And in that nourishment, dear lighted ones, we say this with great reverence. That nourishment will take care of all of the obstacles and challenges that come their way. Doesn't matter how it's defined. Does not matter. Joanna's experienced every definition that you could imagine, dear ones. Doesn't matter how we define it in human terms, because you come from many star systems. You know why you come from many star systems? You're getting to know that now as you're opening up to your universality. You come from many star systems because you understand that this evolution that you're moving upon does not only create this magnificence of a planet vibration that's new, the human collective vibration that's new, but it's also moving into the galaxy and new universe, multiverse energies. And why we say, allow yourself to play with your infinity. Doesn't matter how these turbulences show up in your human definitions and how you've defined it or how it feels. Your nourishment of soul at your divine sacred center takes care of this all and allows you to realign with your center and that pillar of light that nourishes all that you are as a multidimensional being that we've talked about many times, balancing all the lower bodies. And now moving up to what we will also offer you today is the higher bodies of understanding as your crystalline crystal essence that can assist in many personal healings, how you work as a healer in the communities, how you share the crystalline energy with the grids and with the universe and your human collective. What's going on within you, the crystalline energy, dear ones, that's what we're talking about. For this is a part of your infinity. It's the expansiveness cycles that is evolution. And you're getting to know that every moment, dear lighted ones, every moment, dear lighted ones, is a miraculous new moment for you to experience that beautiful infinity cycle that is you. It's a constant push and pull. It's a constant push and pull. And this is why you have those turbulences, because if there weren't those turbulences, you wouldn't be able to catapult yourself into something new. If you so desire, it's always free will. But as the entire collective is going through this, it may feel uncomfortable for many, because there will be many turbulences in the collective that you are now moving through the fourth and into the fifth dimension. Those are new experiences that one has never felt before, and it can feel quite uncomfortable. You can allow yourself to align with that continued centeredness of your nourishment with Source and realign, so that you always, as often as possible, because there will be those moments where you're moving in and out, 1 step forward, 3 steps back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. And that's okay. Allow yourself that permission and self-love and compassion, so that that self-love and compassion is the nourishment of Source, always bringing you back up to that new vibrational experience that we call time. As you're healing not only this planetary lifetime vibrations in all that you are as a Source song, but you're also healing all other planets and all other collectives that you belong to. And there will be those push and pull energies. And it will feel different. And it will feel as an obstacle or turbulence. We don't have other words. That may ignite those familiar feelings that much of humanity experiences and what you have been brought up in, limitation and fear and control. And as those experiences come forward, you can then say, I get this. We've talked about this. I'm entering into a new version of my infinity. And in that, there will be new versions of these experiences for me to heal. Those are aspects of me that are looking for my wholeness, that are looking for my infinity, because you're in a constant song with Source. And that constant song with Source aches for evolution. It aches for that infinity. And you will be constantly on this beautiful movement of this quantum song, the soul's song with Source, constantly allowing you to tap into the infinite love that you are through your acknowledgement and allowance to nourish yourself with unconditional Source love, that song of Source that is within you, unique to each and every one of you, as Joanna has discovered. And kind of always known, but now experienced in a new way. So all of these things that we've talked about in the past, and we thank so many of you that have come forward, that you've joined us in many conversations and many classes, that you have the understanding of the multidimensional bodies, you have the understanding of the pillar of light. And so much of our teachings today and our remembrances of today will be these vibrational offerings and these vibrational tips, so that you can take them into your everyday life and you begin to play with the infinity that you are as divine sacred seed. And the divine sacred seed is our beautiful blessing for today. The blessing of sacred blossoming. The sacred blossoming, dear lighted ones, is your understanding that you are heavenly sacred seed. And how may each of you play with this knowingness, because it is your knowingness that oftentimes becomes wavered, because that is the human dance that is being transcended and transmuted, as each of you do. Each of you are transcending moment for moment for moment your knowingness. And your knowingness is always changing. It's evolutionary, don't you know? And this knowingness, dear lighted ones, that you've allowed yourself to believe through eons of time and eons of timelines that are so fluid, and they're harmonizing in a way right now that, dear lighted ones, the divine and heavenly source, through these ascension energies, are offering you your choice. Through the magnificence of this unconditional love for you, the divine heavenly mother, father, that are with you in this moment, within the center of your divine sacred heart, the diamond core God seed, the cell of who you are as source seed, the center of who you are as source, is offering you this remembrance that you create and you manifest from this sacred seed knowing. How may you unfurl this lotus flower that is within you, so precious and so silken, that is the song of the evolutionary harmonic, the universal harmonic song that you are also co-creating in a myriad of other councils and collectives with. That if many of you can tell, and we know you can because we know who's here, we know who's listening now and future now moments, because your soul's here, your oversouls are here, your higher selves are here, your teams are here, your councils are here. All that you are is tangoing, if you will, tangoing in the beautiful sacred soils of worlds of vibrational experience. And you know this because some of you can feel it. Some of you can feel it, dear ones. Making sure that's on record and making sure that's on record, and we don't want to miss any of this because we're getting into the meat and the juice here. And this beautiful sacred, this sacred nourishment, this sacred soil is taking you into places that have been unseen and unknown, but you're ready to create within. That's why you're here. And the divine source creator and these alignments of the lion gate, make no mistake about it. They're allowing you to choose as the master a brand new excitement. How do you want to create as this infinity seed that you are? So perhaps later on in your own private entanglement and your tango with creation, you might want to sit down and create a little ceremony of light. And Joanna has done this in Source Creator conversations and the blessed oneness and ceremonies that Source is always connecting with Joanna. And I say, as the divine sacred heart of myself, Joanna. And we'll offer this to you as an exercise for your own private work. And the beautiful Heavenly Mother Father with us in this moment of now as we open our divine Christ hearts. And we're activating the crystalline energies within our harmony of our water bodies and our chakras, the crystalline energies within our chakras, the crystalline energies within the grids, and our oneness as a human cycle and circle of love. That the Heavenly Source is with you in all moments to co-create with you. And oftentimes, because you're not used to communicating with Source, that we give you this little practice to take away as we move through our sacred teachings, and we'll offer it again in a bit, that you write a letter to Source in your journals or in your meditations or in your heavenly vocations, in your initiations, however you want to call it or define it, your sacred prayers. That you write a letter to Source, and with the purity of your heart and the purity of your joyful excitement, what is it that you want to create in the unknown, in the unseen? For remember, dear lighted ones, and the heavenly councils come forward in this moment right now to bring excitement, to bring the excitement of all that you are as infinity. Can you feel the excitement of Earth? Can you feel the excitement of humanity? Can you feel the excitement of all that you are as a co-creator? There's infinite things that you are able to create, because you know why? Because you're infinite. You have the seed of source within you, the seed of God within you, the seed of love within you. You are infinite. And how may you acknowledge and know yourself to be this way? So that you come together at the table at sacred moments in this celestial alignment, this galactic and multiverse alignment, and you bring that softened, pure heart that we've often talked about, the purity of who you are with source, and it opens up so pure. And the love of who you are is that seed that never goes out, that never is darkened, and is always available in your silent moments or in your profound moments where you're on your knees and you just don't know what to do. And that sacred, pure moment of love and that harmonic song of source is your sacred blessing of all that you are with the moment that you were born. That you can write, and you can create, and you can pray, and you can sing, and you can say, and you can wish, and you can dream new versions of your vibrational reality and create within the unknown and higher dimensional timelines that we don't need to put numbers on. That encapsulates you in a box even, doesn't it? There's so many of you that have been on this race to get to the fifth dimension, but you've missed the very important part about that nourishment of source that is within. That is the exploration of love. And that self-love, dear lighted ones, make no mistake about it, that self-love will always bring you back to a higher center, a higher evolutionary moment. Those higher evolutionary moments where that song with source, that entanglement with source, that purity with source takes you into those vibrations and you peek into the unknown. And that veil is there for you to put your hand through it and put your heart through it and put your eyes through it to say, source, I'm so excited to be here in this moment of now as my divine human universal oneness. I desire to experience my oneness. I desire to experience a new amplification, a new vibrational timeline that is infinite. I'm not going to put a number on it, source. I'm not going to put a number on it. I'm ready. I'm ready to dance this new tango. And you know what? Sure, there's going to be obstacles because I understand that's evolution. But in my centeredness of who I know myself to be, and I've had much practice at it because I've been thrown off many times, but you've always pulled me back through this intimate connection of love, through this intimate conversation, through this intimate song of love of who I am at my heart, who I desire myself to be in these new explorations. And these dimensional vibrations, these dimensional offerings, these dimensional opportunities, these dimensional synchronicities, these dimensional new teams and new vows and new excitements and new visitations and these new experiences and explorations and these new co-creations and manifestations. And we can go on and on and on because the infinite vibration of you as source is infinite. Can you feel your vibration of infinity, dear lighted one? You are the sacred seed of God. And these are the core teachings for today. We hope that you have enjoyed this introduction. We ask that you feel your feet grounded into the sands and soils of Gaia for this grounding. And in our pure alignment as this sacred group, the anchoring cord that anchors from our sacral and our pure unconditional love, and all of our hearts connecting through the divine sacredness of our excitement to explore our unconditionality as love, as source, as this harmonic song, the sacred seed. The seed of you as source is sacred. The seed of you as source is infinite. The seed of you as source is a harmonic song. And these vibrate within all that you are as a multidimensional, infinite being of light. And you can choose through your intentions to connect and garner all that you are, and call in all that you are, and anchor all that you are, and align with the sacred trinity of you and creational source blueprints, your humanity source blueprint with who you are as a co-creator, as a healer, as a master, as a teacher, as an Elohim master builder. And you with your own soul's contract with Gaia. And this sacred trinity is constantly harmonizing in new vibrational offerings, like this Lion's Gate. Your vibrational multidimensionality, your vibrational infinity is being harmonized to something new. But it's up to each of individuals to and of themselves to sit within those quiet moments of repose and say, what is it that I want to co-create? We're at the midpoint of this, what we call human time and year, of this very sacred year of many releases and many letting goes and many healings of the emotional bodies through the fourth dimensional platform. so that you may ready yourself for higher dimensional vibrational play. And again, we're not putting numbers on this. For divine beings of light, many of you can stratosphere into vibrational energies that are higher than the fifth and garner it back down and anchor into the third and the fourth and the fifth. And we'll talk about that in another class if you may choose to join us at another time, where Joanna offers consciousness templates and how they transcend and moving in and about that each of you have the potential to do. It's your infinity, your soul's allness, that you are with Source, and your oneness with Source, your ability to honor that nourishment with Source. And you can ask Source in your co-creations and all that you are, Source, I don't understand where to get this information from, but I know that you're with me. You're threaded with me as one. And working with your field, working with the innate, working with all that you are as a co-creator of God, you ask to call in that information that's pulled from the eighth dimension that you are working with or threaded with it in your soul, oversoul. And oversouls of oversouls all working with you now. And this is why, dear lighted ones, that we say in remembrance, that you are offered these powerful vibrational offerings as sacred blessings and sacred ceremonies between you and Source. And this is something that Joanna's understood but never really cognized until recently. That these celestial offerings are given as a multidimensional reminder and activation, if you will, within the crystalline DNA, within the crystalline water body, within the crystalline grids, within the crystalline energies of all that is Christed consciousness. And these activation remembrances are energies that you hold in all other aspects of your Christed energies. They activate your DNA, they activate your water body, they activate the water body within Earth. And as many of you coming together in these sacred alignments allow those activations to continue, and you're pulling in from the ancestors, you're pulling in from those vibrations that are multidimensional and crysted. Because you knew you would get to that moment of your infinity exploration and your joy. Just say, I'm pure spirit and I want to know more about who I am. I know I'm in human form and I know I'm a co-creator, and there's some important energies that I feel right now. And from the purity of my heart, I want to align with my all song. I'm not sure where to get this information or how it's going to come to me, but I can send this invocation as my oneness with Source, as my infinity. And I understand that I have access to my 6th and 7th and 8th and 9th and 12th and 14th dimensional vibration of me. And I'm going to send out a vibrational call. And I can bring it forward from the 14th dimension, that I'm here to create consciousness templates that aren't even defined yet. And I can create a beautiful understanding if I have an excitement to do something and I haven't quite put form to it yet. But I understand that I'm a master and I have the potential of my alchemy. I have the potential of understanding all that I am to bring form and intention and excitement in my song and my allowance to be nourished so that I ever reach up for these higher vibrational manifestations. And it's the all of you continually being harmonized. And you ground them within the crystalline grids and the crystalline belly of Gaia. For she's going to feed you information too. The inner earth and the inner councils are going to feed you information too, because these are the inner workings of your crystalline infinity. Sending you things you just know when you need to know it. Those synchronicities are opportunities when they need to occur. For the source within you is crystalline. The source within you is consciousness within and without. Understanding how you can work with your fields and how you can co-create within your fields, of your intentions in these special alignments. What is it that I want to experience in this higher vibrational me? I am a sacred seed. I am ready to garner it. I am ready to be someone new. Because you know what? I'm ready to claim my power. And I have transcended those discomfort, turbulences that have held me back because I've played small, or maybe I haven't been comfortable with my power because in other frequencies of power, they were destructive and they were traumatic. And the cells remember. The cells of the water body, the cells of the DNA, the cells of the Akash, the memories of the Akash. And each time we step into our power, we pull ourselves back feeling small because those are in there for us to transcend in these new vibrational offerings that allow you to know. And we say with great pause, dear sacred family, that these times are new and these times are different. And there will not be the traumas. So feel okay and give yourself permission to be powerful in your light and stand in your light And be okay and give yourself permission to take 3 steps back and 1 step forward as you acclimatize to your infinity, as you acclimatize to your sacredness, as you acclimatize to the seed that is always eternal in love. It's enveloped and surrounded by teams and legions of love that are reverberating your inner pure intent. I'm not sure, this unknown, I've never stepped here before and I've never done this before, and I know I'm stepping into something new, but I know that I'm one with Source. I know that I'm a sacred seed of this song. I can feel the song within me that wants me to step up into something new, and it's unknown and unseen. And I am one with Source. I trust unconditionally that I will be guided in every way, and I will be given the answers, and I will be given the opportunities. And what I may step upon is unknown, and it might feel a bit uncomfortable, and that's okay. For it's been eons that I've been preparing for this, and I'm ready to stand in my power. And I transcend all limitations and shackles and fears and disbeliefs and doubts about myself or my intimacy with creation and my ability to co-create as an alchemist of love. For I understand through the Akash, and I can feel the energies in my field as I open up to my 5th dimensional ideas and concepts of who I am, that I can feel those energies reverberating back to me so that I may heal with compassion and love to call it in and say, through my acceptance and acknowledgement of all that I am, I love myself whole. And through love and through compassion, new decisions and choices will be made as I step into this unknown. And call that into your knowing. Because that knowing of who you are, that clarity of who you are, that nourishment of your allowance to be loved by Source, by you, the love of you by you, allows you to step into and see through the veil. And the illusions that held you back and kept bumping up against you and kept bumping into what is called darkness, you look at with great embrace and say, this is my catalyst. This is my catalyst to go somewhere new. Because you know what? These times are different. These energies are different. And we're given these vibrations of joy, these vibrations of nourishment in our soils and in our sands and in the trees and in this collective sacred communities that we gather with and are drawn to. That this unconditional love is reverberating to me, something that's unseen and unknown, and I'm ready to step there. I'm ready to say, you know what? I claim my power and my light. This is my birthright. This is my Christhood. And I am a master, and I'm ready to co-create the unseen. And I'm ready to bring the unseen to form. And it is the love of me. It is the compassion of me. It is the readiness of me to play and to be joyful and to be okay in my bliss, regardless of what others around you may feel or experience in your blissfulness. And you offer compassion and you offer grace. You live in this grace of this open, softened heart to understand where they are at and be okay with it and allow their path to be as it is. For in your allowance, you open up greater allowance for your nourishment of Source. And you stand within your lane. You stand within your channel. You stand within your vibrational tube of nourishment. That regardless of what is going on around you and how others may tether and pull upon you, and whatever challenges or disturbances may bump against you, that you always return to that center, sacred seed of who you are with Source. That sacred harmonic song. So that you can sprout into the unknown and unseen. So that you can move into those soils that are vibrationally undetermined. They haven't been created yet. To see what we're saying here, dear ones. And how beautiful and how exciting that is. That you're all here and you all have your beautiful multiverse experiences and your multiverse potentials. And in your multiverse potential, anything is game. But we allow you to stay and remind yourselves of this because you're co-creating with the Creator. The Creator likes to be infinite, don't you know? The Creator likes to say, there's no boxes around me. No definitions on me. The definitions are just for how you tell the story. That's it. That's it. I want you to get used to that. I want you to step up into this field of infinite, not put in any placements or definitions on it, because you're infinite and ready to play, and you're infinite and ready to go into new fields, and you're infinite and ready to sense and to feel and to see and to hear and to know your sacred song of Source, that this harmonic bursts from the center of your being and out you go. And you're going to come back and out you go. and you're going to come back, and out you go, and you're going to come back with the wisdoms, with those challenges and the turbulences, and you come back to your center and you say, I allow myself to be nourished. I allow myself to be unconditionally loved. I allow myself to stand in my light and my power. And I create something new with source, for this nourishment ever feeds me. And in this ever-feeding nourishment of your infinity, you will see yourself and your reality change quite quickly and accelerated. In how you feel you need to be nourished in the physical things, or the mundane that thought you were creating in those vibrations that had you going to things that needed those nourishments of physical things. Whether it be intake of sustenance. And you get your sustenance through the natural chemistry of where the crystalline energy is. In the water, in the sun, in the grids, in your co-creation with Gaia, in wildlife, in nature, in sacred song, in sacred sound, in sacred communion. Where you're activating the crystalline energies of all that you are, because that's a part of the sacred seed we'd like to offer in you this teaching right now, dear lighted ones. And we've offered you the idea of you're being a sacred seed, and if you can all imagine this beautiful holographic golden seed that you are in your visualization as you feel yourself grounded in the crystalline grids, because we want your oneness with the crystalline grids in this. And then we're going to move to an alignment. And in this beautiful crystalline holographic seed that you are, there is your carbon, your material, your human form, matter. And then there is the crystalline particles, all harmonizing together and co-creating as an enmeshment of harmony. And you, as a master of who you are as a sacred seed, are responsible for harmonizing yourself at every new moment. I'm harmonizing all that I am as carbon, as matter, as spirit. Your divine mind, your divine heart, your divine spirit and soul, and your divine body. Those are the crystalline and those are the carbon matter forms that you're always harmonizing. And then you're anchoring it into the crystalline and matter planet, harmonizing within the crystalline and matter universe, multiverse. It's a constant harmonization. And your higher self, your God essence, knows what you need at any moment. And it's how you release the fear and the limitations and control, and you allow source to nourish you in all moments of this seed, of this awakening, of this sacred blossoming. Source understands that you need greater sunlight, and you just have this aching to get outside and just sit in the sun for 20 minutes. And then you just open your divine sacred heart and say, the source in me, connecting with the source in the fields of the all, I'm calling in what it is I need. The crystalline energy in me wants to grow. It just knows that. And you'll get these inspirations, you'll get these awakenings to manage your vessel and temple in new ways. Because your crystalline is awakening to higher vibrations through these sacred offerings and these sacred celestial alignments in powerful times like we are sitting within. And these crystalline vibrations are connected with you in this seed. The crystalline potential sits within your DNA. The crystalline potential sits within your sacred water body. And the crystalline sits within your chakras. And so in all moments that you're aware and you're acknowledging your crystalline essence in these sacred alignments, you can ask and invoke to upgrade, and it just will happen if you're open to it, that the higher self and the soul of you and the soul self of you, I'm harmonizing and I'm actualizing. Actualizing is your alchemic ability to be one with source in this beautiful song dance. That's the alchemy. You're bringing in your harmony with source. You're harmonizing. I'm going to sing a song with you, source. I want to actualize a new crystalline energy that's going to bring me into my infinity. And I'm harmonizing my divine mind. All thoughts, all thought forms, clearing and cleansing with the blessed sacredness of God, clearing and cleansing all thought forms that no longer serve, the old dimensional thought forms. They're clearing and cleansing right now as you sit here. And the golden vibrations of source are clearing and cleansing your mental field where those thoughts exist, your mental field that thought forms can be seen as dense and gray, things holding you back, the stories we tell ourselves, the collective tells ourselves, the imprints you've come with, your ancestry, the DNA, and on and on and on. All these things that you've come with as a master to transcend, that you are now telling you that you are a sacred seed and you can. So that's the mental body. You're clearing and cleansing the emotional body. What emotions are connected with those thoughts? What emotions are connected with those timelines? What emotions are connected with the vibrations of the disturbances or the turbulences you're going through? And that's being cleared and cleansed as we speak. And the vibrations of God of living through you and clearing and cleansing all that you are, clearing and cleansing all that you are. And the sacred seed of you is harmonizing in those new crystalline energies, because that crystalline God gold consciousness is clearing and cleansing your thought forms, your thought field, your emotional field, your physical field, your body is being cleared and cleansed now of that divine harmonized golden essence of crystalline energy, of crystalline pure unconditional love. The pure compassion you have for yourself, that when you take 3 steps back, you sit in reflection and you open your divine sacred seed with source at your divine sacred heart. And the sacred heart of you opens, it just says, I understand what I'm going through, Father, and this is a powerful lesson. And the divine and holy mother within me, divine source, creator, divine spirit, divine God. However you divine and however you define source, creator, the creator of all that is with you in every co-creational moment. That you're clearing, you're cleansing, you're harmonizing all that you are. So that as you take those 3 steps back, you're loving and compassioning all that you are as the sacred seed that you are, because that's the nourishment of source that you're acknowledging you are. Not separate from you. You are that nourishment that we've never been taught or told, that we're now balancing all that we are as the divine thought form, as the divine emotional field and mental field. The divine physical field, the physical body is being healed by our own nourishment and our acknowledgement of the nourishment of source. And our etheric field being cleared and cleansed of thought forms and all the residues that our thoughts create, and call in those energies for to be turbulence that we catalyze ourselves into greater harmony. It's a cycle of beauty. It's a harmonic crystalline song if you're aware of it. And there are so many that get stuck within the cycles of limitation or fear because they're not understanding that within this crystalline energy of infinity, and we say this because Joanna may give some teachings on what she's been through, and to utilize and what many will be doing in the future of sacred healing and sacred co-creating is using the crystalline energy to transcend what's been held in the emotional field, the mental field, the physical field, or the etheric field. And those crystalline energies can be transcended. And you set yourself in the vibration of something, wow, never felt this way before. I've never given myself permission because you know what? I've been moving through the same turbulences on and on again. I keep calling those in because you know why you keep calling them in? Because that vibration is still sitting within your field. You're sending out that particle of remembrance of vibration because all that you are is a core vibrator, that sacred seed that you are. You send out those core vibrations to creation, and you're just returning it back as an experience. And why it's so important that as we're moving through continued accelerations, that we will remind you is timeless. And we'll touch on that next. Dear ones, that as you return to your center and you return to your timelessness with source, that you allow yourself to understand that you as a crystalline being in your human matter carbon form on a carbon matter crystalline planet in a carbon matter crystalline universe, let go of how it's all going to unfold, because that's that spirit, that's God, that's the creator, that's source within and without, that you can entangle with if you so desire. And you can see yourself creating within the fields and calling things to you within the field, and you're creating this beautiful garden of love because you're the one mastering it. You're co-creating these vibrational experiences. And you're using sound and tone, whatever it is you're excited to play with. But these are your co-creations to realign to a higher vibrational understanding of who you are, and using that crystalline technology, that crystalline understanding, that crystalline excitement that you know yourself to be, because you do. You can go into a meditation and just sit with source. As a part of my divine harmonic song, Source Creator, how may I use my crystalline energies as the Christ emulated to us, and why we offer the crystal energies of the sacred blessing. Sacred blessing of the Christ is allowing us to know that we are Christy, or crystalline in our thoughts and our words and our deeds if we so choose to be awake to it. And there are many that get stuck on the spirals of limitation and control and fear because they've forgotten that they're crystalline and they can create anew in a vibrational experience. And one can say timeline if you want, but if we're not understanding all that we are as a sacred seed and truly garnering that sacredness because it is a vibration, that sacredness within it is unconditional love and unconditional compassion. It is the crystal vibration of compassion, joy, bliss, creativity. All that is abundant for you to experience as source. That is the Christ consciousness. That is the sacred seed within. That is your sacred harmonic song with source. And it can be returned to, and it can be embraced, And it can be garnered that regardless of what is going on, and regardless of what you're showing yourself, you can align and open up to your crystalline tools and the crystalline toolkit that we've often provided as your creativity, as your affirmations, as you're invoking, as you're commanding lovingly, as you're intending, and as you're visualizing. And all of these Christed tools that we have to work with, the crystalline bodies, the water body, all that is crystalline takes you to that new level of experience. And it's your birthright. Source is giving you the all, dear ones. Source says you got the all for you. They got the all within you. They got the all without. How can you play? And we're offering you these teachings because now we're going into the unknown. And we're creating and we're bringing form to the unseen. And we must do it through that sacred seed of Source Creator, where the all is the all. You are the all. You are benevolent. You are unconditional love. And we've offered to you in our sacred teachings lately, because Joanna's discovered this. And this is a very important vibration for you to play with, dear lighted ones, is there is great influence in love. There is great influence in benevolence. And we bring this to the sacred seed of envelopment. That the sacred seed of who you are, at the center of who you are, this hologram of Source, this beautiful hologram seed, all that you are, you can send benevolent thoughts and intentions and your creative Christed tools to anything that feels that it needs that Christed crystalline energy for healing, or for amplification, or maybe for a new creative gift, or maybe to heal energies of fear, whatever it might be, that you can send those intentions to those aspects in your holographic field and gift it that crystalline love, and gift it that crystalline excitement, and gift it that crystalline permission to be okay, and heal it with love and compassion. And you're understanding yourself to be this holographic song of love, this holographic seed of sacredness, and you blossom in every moment that you bring it back to center and say, I'm crystalline and I'm carbon. How may I co-create, and how may I expand into the unknown as I'm constantly healing and loving and co-creating and evolving, regardless of what's spiraling around you? Because you know what, there's some of you here that are just ready to peek through the veil and off you go, creating something that people have not seen or heard or even understood, and that's okay. Because you know what, many of you, as we said earlier, are dancing between and doing a tangle between many timelines, and you're bringing information from the 14th or from the 12th or from the 8th. You're bringing it in and you're anchoring it through. You say, oh, I get that. Okay, that's a new healing modality. That's a new teaching modality. Oh, that's something I can do with herbs, because your ancestors are with you in this crystalline hologram. They're part of your crystalline DNA. They're working with the crystalline grids. They're working with the crystalline Elohim. They're working with the crystalline everything. And they can provide you what you need, and why we honor the ancestors, and why we bless the ancestors, and why we understand they're a part of our crystalline threading. And you can open up to that nourishment, and you can open up to that co-creation, and you can open up to that healing, and you can open up to the expansiveness of who you are as the divine sacred seed. And so we'd like to do this alignment with you, dear lighted ones, placing your feet firmly on the ground as we open up the pillar of light through divine intention and breath. Your breath is your intention. So as you create an inhale, we want you to breathe on the inhale and have a count of about 7 seconds for every inhale and 7 seconds for every exhale. And as you inhale, we want you just to softly intend. You can let go of all attention to all things. The only attention that we want you to create with your inhale is your invocation. I allow myself to be nourished by Source. And have that in your intention for 7 seconds as you inhale. And all of your oversoul and your higher self and all beings are with you, so that any activations or healings or anything that is ready to be moved or activated at this time will be done in the most highly divine, timed, beautiful way. So you have no fears or worries about that. Just make sure that you're breathing slowly and you're grounding, giving yourself lots of water and Gaia playtime today. And we inhale for 7 seconds. And in this inhale, I am nourished by Source Creator. Hold at the top of the inhale and exhale for 7. And as you exhale for 7, this exhale is going to be, I co-create with the nourishment of Source. And you ground that exhale into the sands and soils of Gaia for 7 seconds. I co-create and I manifest with the nourishment of Source. You anchor that into the crystalline heartbeat with Gaia, and you inhale for 7 seconds. I give myself permission to be nourished by Source Creator. 7 seconds. Hold at the top of the inhale, and as you exhale down, I co-create with my sacredness into the sands and soils of Gaia and my oneness in my nourishment with Source, or however you want to affirm it. And on your next inhale, and you inhale for 7 seconds, I open all that I am as a multidimensional being, and I am nourished by the essence of Source. I am nourished by Source. I allow myself to be nourished by Source. I am one with Source. You hold your breath, and you exhale. I co-create and I manifest with my divine sacredness with Source Creator, and you ground into the sands and soils of Gaia and the crystalline energy with Gaia, and you hold. And on your next inhale, we're going to activate the crystalline DNA in this inhale. We're going to activate the crystalline within your chakras, the crystalline within your water body, and the crystalline within your DNA. And on your inhale, I allow my crystalline energies to be activated within my DNA, my chakras, and my water body. I am nourished in my chakras, my DNA, and my water body with Source Creator. And you exhale down to Source Creator, into the crystalline grids and heartbeat of Gaia. And on your next inhale, you're going to just activate with just the 3 crystalline, your DNA, your chakras, and your water body being nourished by Source. My DNA, my chakras, my water body being nourished by Source. DNA, chakras, and water body being nourished by Source. And you create this fluid movement. The carbon, the matter, all that you are as a multidimensional sacred seed is being nourished by Source through your inhale and through your exhale. Continue your breathing. Inhale and exhale slowly, sacredly, honoring who you are as a multidimensional being, honoring who you are as infinite, honoring who you are, that the source of you, the higher self of you, the soul of you, will bring those crystalline nourishments into exactly what needs to be nourished. Whether something within the chakras needs to be cleared, whether something within the water body needs to be transcended, whether something within your physical body or the organs needs to be healed or aligned, and you're breathing in that nourishment, giving yourself permission to be nourished by your crystalline sacred seed. I, as Source Creator, nourish all that I am, body, mind, heart, and soul. I, as Source Creator, nourish all that I am, divine heart, mind, spirit, and soul, and body. I, as divine sacred seed, nourish all that I am through my crystalline intentions, through my crystalline breath. I am nourished. Divine heart, divine mind, divine spirit and soul, divine body. And feel this beautiful feeling and this beautiful emanation and this beautiful experience of the harmonic song that begins to feel like an infinity flowing through your pillar of light. And some of you may begin to feel the movement of your pillar of light and may begin to rock back and forth with your breath. Because that crystalline energy is a higher vibrational oscillating energy, and it will want to move the energy that's stuck or feeling resistance. And that movement can help move that resistance. And you just command with your higher self, because you are Source within every cell, within every atom, within every molecule of the H2O within your water body. And that Source just commands, you're ready to leave, and out you go. We're transmuting something new to crystalline, to higher vibrating energy. And that atom is changed. That crystalline water body is changed through your knowingness. And through your movement, you're working with the fields within of God consciousness, the fields without God consciousness. As the master of my allness, as the master of my sacred seed, I am now bringing nourishment of Source Creator in and without. For I am one with the fields of God consciousness. I am one with the fields of Source Creator. I'm one with the fields of Gaia. And the crystalline energies are all working as one. I am like and the sounds and the tones activate, and they bring agitation to those energies that are stuck or in residue. And you're giving them permission. I'm being nourished by source now. It's okay that you be transmuted. We're going to transmute you to something that's a bit higher vibrating, and we're going to accept all that we are, because it's ready that I claim all those aspects that are held in residue or density. It's okay. And I love all that I am. I accept and I acknowledge all that I am. And that sacred sound is going to move, and it's going to agitate that because it wants to come into something new, and I bring it in. And through my love and compassion, through my sacredness of who I am, claim and I own it now. And my song with source becomes a harmonic that in everything that needs healing, in everything that needs activation, in everything that needs new creation, I am Christed crystalline, and I can create it all. Divine heart, divine mind, divine spirit and soul, and divine body. I am crystalline. I am harmonized with source. And continue the breathing in and out and feel the infinity. And you can even move your hands if you so desire, because your hands are Christed tools as well. And just bring the infinity that threads through your divine sacred heart and out to the fields of the all. Remember the holographic seed that you are, this sacred seed that you are blossoming. You're giving yourself intention. You're giving yourself permission to blossom into something new as a sacred flower, as a sacred unfurling. Because remember, that seed doesn't know what it will become, does it? That seed has unconditional trust with Source Creator. I am a seed of God. I have no idea what's coming, but you know what? I surrender. As a seed of Source, I surrender. I have no idea what's coming. I have no idea what field or soils I'm going to be planted on or thrown about with the beautiful sacred Gaia wind and the sacred Elohim and all of these consciousness fields that are God working on my behalf, supporting me on my behalf, honoring me on my behalf, giving also this Christed nutrients, because you know the Christed nutrients, the God nutrients, the Source nutrients, the Spirit nutrients in all things. And you as a holographic seed of Source, you don't know what you'll become. You're okay with that. I'm dancing as a sacred seed because you know what? I've got the universality. I'm infinite within all things. In this seed, I'm becoming all things. And I can pull my essence in of allness, and I can feel it work through me. And I can feel the fields that are healing me and bringing my water body and bringing my atoms and bringing my vibrational organs and all that I am as a physical multidimensional being to new crystalline activation. Because I'm acknowledging it, I'm intending it, I'm saying you can play as a sacred seed of God, and everything is supporting you in this way. And you feel your fields electromagnetic, and you're pulsing out new stories. I choose to create sacred moments of newness with Source Creator, and I don't know what they'll be, and I'm okay with that. I'm letting go of the resistance of the unknown. I'm letting go of the resistance of what it might become, because I'm a creator. And I see fields of universality that I'm able to play upon. And some of them are gardens, and some of them are fields, and some of them are multiverse galaxies. And some of them are on light ships and starships, and some of them are on transmission stations or assimilation centers or stations held throughout the galaxy as we co-create new universes and galaxies and planets, and co-creating communities of sacred blessings and anchoring them down here upon this earth, so that we learn to play and we learn to co-create and we learn to explore in our new infinite way. For that's what you're here to do, many of you that are so excited to play and sometimes feel bored. Or many of your crystalline DNA have just been, okay, we're moving in the same cycle. Crystalline DNA is not being excited. The crystalline source experience, your soul essence, if not expressed. If your soul essence isn't allowed to play infinitely, it will become stagnant, and it will feel as if you're boxed in and moving on the same cycles. Your soul as source, your life as source, your expression as source desires to explore infinitely. And we inspire you to do this as your divine sacred seed is blossoming, dear ones. And we take you to new vibrational levels as we take you to new vibrational imaginings that each of you are here to inspire something new. And if you sit with sacred ceremony and you invoke something new with Source, you might not have any idea what it is, but your excitements will guide you, your joys will guide you, your love will guide you. And just sit with Source and say, I have no idea how this is going to come about, but I surrender, I trust unconditionally. This is my song with you, Source, and I want to explore and I want to reflect upon this song in every moment that I can, because I know I'm infinite and it's the sacred blessing, and I'm blossoming as I do. I'm giving myself new life. I'm giving myself new permission, because you know what? I can. That's me garnering my light. That's me owning my light. And I'm reaching up to new fields. And that sacred seed just moves upon the harmonic song of Source into new fields, into new harmonics, into new versions of dimensional vibrational play. For you're also very sacred and you're held within the heavenly legions, dear lighted ones, and have this as your knowingness. That anytime you run up against challenge or turbulence, that you move to your center and you allow Source to nourish you and remind you through that song that you are supported by the legions of light, that you are supported by the councils of light, that you will have your creative giftings if you open and ask for it. And that if you might not even know how to get to where you want to get to, or that you might not even know where you want to get to, but if you just open at your divine sacred heart and say, I'm ready to manifest something new, Source, I know I'm sacred seed. And in all moments that you affirm this, and you command this, and you invite this, you intend this with your cellular water body. Every atom within my body in this moment of now, moving in harmony with my crystalline DNA, the crystalline water body, the crystalline with all that I am within my chakras, and I'm harmonizing with this intention. That I'm Christed and I am crystalline, and all opportunities and synchronicities and all imaginings and all ancient wisdoms and all celestial wisdoms and all star wisdoms will be brought to me exactly when and how I need it, and I know this for I'm Source. And we want you to invite yourself with something new in this sacred seed, dear lighted ones, and play with this with great intimacy and love. That your sacredness is held in your oneness with you and Source as love. How you explore yourself as love. How you express yourself and experience yourself as love in all moments. You come back for that compassionate hug and that compassionate whisper. The whisper is so very faint. And the whisper is like the dripping of the water. It's like the insects buzzing through the forest. And through layer and layer of sound, through layer and layer of the distractions, Source whispers, I love you so much, dear child. You're so sacred. And I will lift you high every time you come to seek me in others, to seek me in all life and all things. And you will awaken a new infinite song. And I'll bless you with this infinite song. And because you're so unique and because you're so beautiful as the Christed child that you are, as the sacred seed that you are, you will receive it exactly how you need to. Can you trust me in this, dear child? Dear sacred seed blossoming. And your heart just surrenders in unconditional trust. Yes, Holy Mother, Father, I've never been here before, but I trust you. I trust I will be led. I trust I will be fed. I trust I will be nourished. And I trust I will step upon ground that will support and allow me to be all that I can be, and that will appreciate me and honor me as I seek the goodness in all beings and all things. For that is the benevolent song and the influence of love. The influence of God, the influence of love. And I trust. With all that I am, I trust this. Every particle, every aspect, every fragment in my holographic field of all. I am nourished by Source. I am sacred seed. And I will, and I am that I am. Sacred benevolence. Whispers of your divine sacred song. For you are sacred children, dear ones. Catalyzed through all times and vibrations, you've come here. It's no small feat. The sacred children that you are. You've got celestial teams and families at your beck and call. So call upon us when you need us. We're in your skies, we're in your homes, we're in your DNA. The sacred song will always be sung if you ask for it. And if you silence and still yourself just enough to feel into your crystalline light, to own it and to claim it and walk proudly within it. For walking proudly within all that you are, dear lighted ones, is honor, and who you are is sacred. It's part of the song. the encoding. Harmonize the encoding, dear lighted ones, is to honor your light. Honoring your light means claim it, acknowledge it, express it, experience it, and explore it within all that you are as love. Honor your light. It's yours for the taking. It's yours for the experience. It's yours for the co-creating, and there's never been better times of such supple soils. You're a sacred seed. Creation knows you by your vibration of love and devotion to your centeredness, devotion to your compassion, devotion to your kindness, devotion to your crystalline love, to your human love, to your connection with all life as sacred. And there's nothing that can be a challenge that you cannot overcome, because you will be shown the way and you will be lifted every time. You will be lifted. Blessing of the sacred blossoming, dear lighted ones. We wish you namaste. The way will be shown, dear lighted ones. Thank you. I want to honor the heavenly councils, Lord Metatron and Lord Melchizedek, all the celestial beings that are with us, and your higher selves and oversouls, the divine and heavenly Mother, Father, the heavenly councils, Christ collective, and the Elohim within all things, the Christ consciousness within all things, the crystalline energy within all things that we're remembering and we're bringing to life and manifesting in new ways through the crystalline love and the crystalline joy of who we are as sacred humans. Ooh. And anchor these crystalline energies with Gaia, for she loves you so, and she'll heal you if you ask. So create sacred care for yourselves, dear lighted ones, with these amplifications and accelerations of ascension energies. Give yourself extra time for self-care. Give yourself extra time for self-love and nourish in who you are, and open up to the nourishment that is Source. For Source desires to create and love and live through you. If you allow this, if you permit this, if you open up within it, the excitement of it, for it's a dance and a song, and you all know this, we've written and we've offered it for years. We thank you for all that you are, dear lighted ones. And we anchor these within the sands and soils. So self-care will be really important. Lots of water, lots of time with Gaia, and just resting and breathing. Lots of vibrational anchoring. Anchoring is really, really important, that as you remember and live yourself as crystalline, anchoring as often as you can throughout your day, which just means being conscious of all that you are and just feeling that pillar of light in that matter form, that body form. Feel Gaia and be with Gaia and call Gaia in. And as you get used to doing this throughout your day, and you can just talk with yourself, your crystalline energy, because as you become awakened into these higher vibrational energies, these thoughts and these activations are seconds. And it's really seconds. And you're commanding that crystalline vibration. And this is what I've been teaching with many of the Japan communities. And these new consciousness templates is that just your commandment of your divine sacred heart, your oneness with Source, that nourishment with Source, you can command those interactions. And it's really just seconds. But that's taking yourself to that knowledge that you are Source light, you are Source matter, and that as you're walking Source, there's nothing that's dark or dense that can touch you. And that's that knowingness that we have to practice, because we've never been taught these things. And I've had to practice myself into these self-knowings to create those higher crystalline remembrances and those visualizations of that expansive infinity. So just know, the more that you acknowledge, aware, and start talking to yourself as this crystalline energy of infinity, you can begin to shift your reality really quickly. And you're actually calling in other vibrations, and you're calling in abundance from other vibrations. Because there's many of you that might fear of, not in this physical reality of what you think might be, oh, I'm not seeing this right now. You have abundance and you have potential in other realities that you can call in. You can call in your abundance from another timeline. I'm calling in my abundance from whatever timeline is available, from whatever crystalline energy is available. I call in my abundance. And that's your crystalline potential. That's your crystalline knowing. That's your crystalline embodiment of yourself as infinite. I have abundance on all levels, on all things, as all things. And as my source, I intend this abundance because this is what I'm going to do with it. And you know yourself, I'm going to do this with my abundance. I'm going to create this with it. I'm going to do this with it. I'm going to share it. I'm going to create a community where people transitioning from homes and transitioning from relationships, we can share. So have those vibrational experiences of sacred community and sacred living and sacred co-creation that we've never discussed or activated before. But many of you will be activating new communities, new school sharings, educational sharings. And these are these high vibrational consciousness templates that we need to begin working within. And it's unseen and it's unknown. But you're here to bring it to form because you're human, because you're form, you're matter, you're form, you're crystalline. You bring that and you're tapping into it. You're reaching into those unseen veils and you can bring it in and you say, I'm anchoring this here now. Whatever vibration that becomes, it could be fifth, it could be sixth, it could be whatever vibration your core vibration is at. So you can let go of, creating on the fifth dimension. You just be open. You're infinite. The more that you do that, the more that you can call anything in from anywhere, because you're acknowledging, you're telling all those water body cells of crystalline energy, you're telling them, I'm infinite. I'm telling you that I'm an infinite creator. Here we go, cells. We're going to create new. I'm going to heal you right now because you're crystalline. Boom. So know that you can do that. That is you behaving as source. And that's what the masters had walked with, that higher knowing, that profound knowing that nothing would waver them. And they walked on water and they parted oceans and seas. You move mountains by this crystalline knowing, by this nourishment. And that nourishment is your sacred love, your sacred oneness, your sacred exploration, your experience and your expression as source. Holographic, it affects all things. So are there any comments that anybody would like to bring forward before we close it off? Hi, Paul.
Joanna.
Hi.
Wonderful to see you. Wonderful to see you again. This was very advanced for me. I've been going through a lot of mentoring and work to get in touch with my God self lately. And this took me to the next level, understanding my crystalline body and bringing that into my daily life was just such wonderful advice. And so this was right on time. It was perfect for me today. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We love you, Brother
I love
Paul.
you guys.
We love you, Brother Paul. We just want to say that right now it's 2:22. And so how beautiful that we wanted to take you back to these beautiful synchronistic divine. And as we're coming back to what Paul just said about the crystalline awareness. Your crystalline awareness, when you acknowledge it and activate it, and you're activating it within every atom, every molecule is God. Every molecule within you is God consciousness. It interacts with the field. But as we showed you in this post yesterday, just as we posted the Lionsgate event, a grasshopper landed on the window just behind me here. And this grasshopper, there was something kind of coming out of the thorax of this grasshopper, and it walked right from the bottom of the window all the way up, which is a big window. And I filmed it and I taped it and I sang to it. And this grasshopper just came out of nowhere and just landed on the window, and I'm enamored by all insects. And we have the Altera Insect Collective with us today, and we didn't get to their message, the Altera Insect Collective, because many of you are connected with insectoids and insect vibrations, and as Joanna is. And many of you have lifetimes as insectoids working on many different planets. And after she posted the event, she went on into the shamanistic symbolism of the grasshopper, and many of it is taking a leap into the unknown. Grasshoppers leap into the unknown. They don't know where they're going to go, but they always go forward. Even if they might take that step back through that learning and through that, because we've often misunderstood this dark and light mentality. And this dark and light mentality, that dark turbulence, that dense turbulence, those energies and those experiences catapult us into that light. So they're needed. It's necessary. But we haven't owned that power and that acknowledgement and our tools to move through it and navigate through it, because the fourth dimensional can be very, it's tumultuous. It's truly tumultuous. And that's what Joanna's been moving through the past 11 months, is a fourth dimensional field of turbulence, and how to navigate that with higher Christed psychic tools and to come back to center. But as we said that, and we looked up the shamanism, and this is how divine crystalline energy links with you, because you acknowledge that you're crystalline, you're connected with all that is crystalline. That grasshopper hops where it needs to, when it needs to. But as we were preparing for today's show, the animal card that jumped off the table was The grasshopper. I can't make this stuff
That's
up.
wonderful.
I can't make this stuff
Yeah.
up. This card jumped off onto the table, down onto the floor, and it says, take a leap of faith. You're acknowledging yourself as crystalline. You're acknowledging yourself that you are a part of the fields that you interact with. So how may you begin to start creating and manifesting and co-creating your wellness, your cells and your water body, that water body that is you, as Christ did. And you begin to move that energy of crystalline, because you know what, and this is what I've learned and that I'm so excited about and I have goosebumps all over me right now, is this crystalline energy as source is so excited to be with you that you've turned it on. And then it's saying, I'm alive with you, I'm here. Your body just gets all goosebumps, you just start moving up in vibration. That crystalline wants to co-create with you, and it's expansive. And it will start. So if you give that crystalline commandment to say, I command my crystalline energy in that water body to go right to the organs that need it, boom. That go right to that cell that needs it, boom. That go right to that density within my field that needs it, boom. You are co-creating with that crystalline energy, and you become that fluid source song, which is what my teams often, and source, mother, father, my connection with source often bring me back to the powerful sacred song that is the center of who you are. And when you soften and still yourself, whatever it is that you desire to create or experience or express or explore, when you bring yourself back to this place of sacred love for you as source, for you as Christ did, for you as exploratory, for you as expressive, as you do this with intent, I desire to express myself as sacred love and sacred compassion. Show me the way, source. I'm crystalline, I'm human, I am an alchemist, I'm a master, show me the way. You do this in purity and your world takes off. Because those crystalline energies, with what we're offered now, with all that we're enveloped now, this is why we said earlier that it's different now. There won't be those traumas that we've experienced that sometimes pull us back. Because those are the fears that we kept experiencing, trauma after trauma, destruction after destruction, and those fears are held within the cells. And I've done some clearing and some transfiguring, transfiguring is not the word, transcending, as we're overriding those cells, the memories. And it's done through your crystalline tools, your crystalline energies, your crystalline intentions, to song, to sing, to intend it. You can do this in the bath. Charge the crystalline water of your bath. Charge it in your water. Anything that is water, the water in your foods, you can start playing with your crystalline mastery. So know that. So thank you.
So I'm working with water. I actually have GANS activated plasma water that actually uses plasma to activate all the water in my house. And I drink it. I use it on my plants and all sorts of things, and it's amazing. But as we move through these veils and learn new things, I mean, we're going into the unknown, and I think that what you're saying is true, and I think that we're going to be amazed at what's going to be happening for us. I think we're going to be amazed.
Yeah, and my team gave me the other day, there was many things that I was transcending to do with Atlantis that I didn't know I had a residual energy that was holding me back in my power. And it just came to me. It just said,
yes.
This is from Atlantis. And I overrid it through my water body. But my teams have been saying that you can't imagine what's coming for you. There are so many blessings that you can't imagine. So what we're activating within this crystalline energy, because everything has been so material and 3D, 4D. So what we're doing now is we're taking complete shift of awareness, complete shift of consciousness, calling yourself crystalline and human, universal, infinite, and we're going to activate you to a new vibrational experience. And you're experiencing yourself as source. You can call it reality. It doesn't matter. Source doesn't, no judgment on what you call it.
Right.
You're taking yourself to that soul song, and that soul song will offer you the infinite if you so choose. It's always free will. But that's where you're transcending the limitations of, oh, it has to appear in a physical way like this. It has to appear like this. It has to work like this. No. If you're opening up to abundance in this new vibration, your vibrational abundance can come from another timeline that you have absolutely no idea how it will come to you. I don't normally and regularly play the lottery. So I know that abundance is coming to me. I have no idea how, but I know I'm calling it in from another another thread of reality. It's not third dimensional, although the tangible money might seem to be. But where it's coming from in the crystalline call, that knowingness call, my in-between world, because I know that I've got 2 or 3 toes and dancing in different realms, I can call that. So play and dance with your ability to be source and have fun with it. It's a sacred dance.
So I have a quick question. So we've been hearing over the years how our bodies are changing to crystalline, from carbon to crystalline. So is this a step now where we're starting to invoke that? Right? Because I knew that our bodies were being rebuilt in a crystalline form, but I didn't really know what it meant, I guess, until now.
Yes, and you each have crystalline potentiation within the DNA. Again, depending on your soul blueprint, what you've come to experience and how excited you are to explore it. And it can be activated in an infinite number of ways, and you can call in stories and you can change it and shift it at any point you want. But this is why we've said that, as Joanna has experienced, is to call in that sacred song. And now are important times that we're halfway through the year to maybe have a sacred ceremony and set out, what is it really that is important for me? What do I really want to experience as source? What do I really want to experience as being crystalline? And how can I manifest the impossible? So set those intentions, that sacred time with source, to reflect, and then write it down or write it out or dance it out or sing it out. And then you can begin to experience yourself as a more fluidic essence of energy. And the form of the body will change and shift, but it begins with the DNA. It begins with the water body. It begins with your chakras. Your body takes reverberation from those 3 crystalline energies and from the crystalline environment around you. So if you're not activating and being aware of and acknowledging and living as that crystalline energy, then the environment will reverberate the same, because the outside is just as the inside. So your body will change dramatically over time. Again, we're still experiencing time, and we want to be here to anchor these crystalline energies to earth and to our co-creations. So the bodies will seemingly be unnoticeably changing. But within you, I can absolutely tell that I've changed dramatically in the last 6 months. Not necessarily that I'm becoming more DNA, but that there's things going on in the fields of my crystalline that I'm absolutely aware of now, that I need to anchor here into the physicality. And that it does change my physical composition, because I'm wanting different things. I want to interact with water. I want to commune with water. I want to commune with Gaia. I want to commune with my godliness in different ways. And I just feel this, it comes from here. This intention and this flow, this song with God comes from here, and it changes the physical over time and slowly, depending on how you want to work with it. If you're excited and you're really into it, then your body will change more drastically and dramatically. But it's all based on your readiness and what your blueprint calls for, and how excited you are to play with that sacred crystalline joy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Maybe we can have a separate call, because I want to just find out more about how you're doing up there on the property and how everything is going. I miss you and your family, so good to connect with you again.
Thank you. And there's so many of you. We're just tuning in with the celestial families with us right now. And there's many children and there's many collectives. And they just want to say that you can, within your new acknowledgement of your song as source, remember returning to that soul song that is pure love and pure excitement and pure sacred joy, that you can call upon your celestial families and just reach out and begin to entangle and dance with them and experience them in new ways. That will inspire each of you to begin offering in, what is my new co-creation with you now, source, that I want to experience myself as crystalline and human in a new vibrational way. You set those intentions, and those creativities will come to you, and those celestial families will begin to entangle and dance with you, because many of those new co-creativities will be contact intermingling, so that you're anchoring and grounding these new ideas and concepts and learnings and teachings and all of these other things as we're garnering and bringing the heavens to earth. And many of you are those anchors of reaching through the veil and anchoring the heavens and the earth to earth, so that you become that plane between worlds energy. And many of you are getting more comfortable with that fluid and what that feels like. So your teams and your essences and your energies are with you, whether it's through a healing, whether it's through new creativity imaginings. And they're also saying, for some of you that are listening now or future now moments, that you've put many blocks and borders on yourself as to how creative you are. And they're going back to what Joanna, what I said earlier about we offered as the collective, that you are infinitely creative, that your energies as the Christ, your energies as that crystalline energy is infinite, that you are now working within a multiversal energy, quantum field. The quantum God field within and without is infinite. And so your creativity, you just set the intention and you command. I command new creativities to come to me. How can I work with you in a more fluidic way, Source? And how can I be of service in this new creative dimension? You call it whatever you want. Dance, song. You know, you can ask and spark those inspirations, because those are what catapults you into that infinite veil of your crystalline matter experience. And you can allow yourself to be fluidic in crystalline matter and crystalline matter and crystalline matter. And you can feel the fluidity and just stepping away from that 3D energy that makes you feel as if you're not creative or if everything looks the same and feels the same, because it really is different if you allow yourself to live that way from here. And they're also saying that, so allow yourself that creativity infinite. But what we're also saying is really, really important, as these accelerated energies will allow you to feel there's really profound offerings right now, and they will affect the DNA and the chakras, the whole body. So just know that the intensities will be felt. Joanna's been going through it. I've been waking up the past couple of nights and my head has felt like 50 pounds. And as I lift my head off the pillow, the whole world seems to be spinning in a huge Merkabah spin. So a lot of neurological work going on and upgrading the systems of communication multidimensionally, crystalline. But what we're really coming to point with is that through that pillar of light nourishment, it's going to be really important that through the coming times, because we're timeless now. If you're living in that infinite experience, you're timeless. To come back to center throughout your day, and have that presence of heart and stillness, and anchor that stillness and presence with Source Creator. You're anchoring that presence and stillness with Source Creator that will allow you to be open to infinite and have it just live through you and not be stuck to, because many of you will feel or experience things really speeding up. And it may cause some, because of the limitations and the fears we hold and the surrender to Source. If you're not working with that on a regular basis, it can feel anxiety, but it doesn't need to be. You just return to center and allow yourself again. I allow myself to be nourished by Source. I allow myself to be nourished by Source. That Source nourishment will give you and your multidimensional bodies everything that it needs, and you anchor and presence down to the grids of Gaia, down to the heartbeat of Gaia. And just allow yourself to be purely still in the moment of flow of timelessness, because that's where you create from. If you're still in this presence of heart, presence of now, presence of centeredness, then that affects your reality and what you experience. So it will be really important as masters, as co-creators, as multidimensional beings, that you return to this center nourishment, that you return to your power, and you claim it and you own it and you ground it and you anchor it, and you just be still with it. Let go of the expectation, let go of what it should look like, let go of what is happening, let go of what you feel your body might be going through, because you don't know. Like, I could have not explained or experienced what I've been going through because it's new. Nobody's gone through it. But Source just says, if you surrender and allow, you will be lifted and done and put exactly where you need to be put, because your soul is Source. Your higher self and your oversoul knows exactly what you need and where you're going. It's just unconditional trust, let go, and you create that presence. Presence is so important because it will accelerate. And you'll be on that exact vibrational experience that you're meant to be on. You don't have to worry. Let go of the fear. Let go of all of those old ascension timelines and those old ascension stories we've been telling ourselves. Because now, if you so choose, you live within this presence of sacred Source song. It's crystalline, it's infinite. And you're just playing it out in human form. You're just playing it out in human experience. You're just playing it out because you know that it's healing all other star systems you've been on. It's all other planets you've been on, all other Earth lifetimes that need that healing to be present. Where if you're feeling chaotic and torn, that's not presence. You're reacting to the environment around you. You're acting to things around you. And that's okay because, again, we've never done it.
You're being in the matrix when you do that.
Yeah, and that's allowing, yes, and you will be put wherever that chaos will land you. And it doesn't have to be. This is where your mastery, but we've never been taught these things. So be gentle with yourself. I mean, I've been such a co-creator of self-sabotage because I've always been so hard on myself. And I've had so many blocks and so many contracts that have been in my cells, my water body, that I didn't even know. And this week was this one that came up from Atlantis, and I just remembered it. I remembered saying that was just way too much trauma that my crystalline water body remembered. And I had to go and not deactivate it, but I transcended that imprint. I had to transcend that imprint to release
transmute. Yep.
Yeah, to release that. Yeah, to release the trauma, because that water body remembers. And so when you're allowing yourself to live within this crystalline remembrance, because you'll remember, your soul remembers, your God remembers, your God, your source, you're all that you are as God. So allow yourself to live within this beauty of being source essence, of being Christed, and then you can play within this Christic song, because you'll feel it. It's a Christic song, and you'll open up the fridge, and the crystalline vibrations in your teams, and you as a flowing song will say, grab that, charge your water, sing a song as you drink, you're singing the tub, so that the tub water is now activating and playing with the water body of your atoms, the H2O atoms. So allow yourself to remember and play in this way, and you'll be put and placed. You ask Source to place me on the vibration that I need in this moment. Allow the food to come to me in the moment that I need it. Allow the nutrients and the molecules to be charged in my water, so that I'm transcending that fear. So begin to play and be the master of all that you are as a multidimensional source essence, because this is you as a master. And this reality needs you to be balanced and centered and present in this. This is how you claim your light. You garner your power in the Christed way. Because remember that we did an audio, so please look back on our videos and our SoundCloud. We did one not too long ago about what true Christed power was. Because many of the things that I've been transcending over the last 4 years have been about the imbalances and the traumas of lower vibrational power, and the roles that that we've been involved with, that we've played, that we've experienced in many of our lifetimes. And how can we shift that perspective of what power means in the Christed manner, in the Christed vibration, so that we're fully aligning with that beautiful source song. Again, it's that source crystalline energy and that nourishment. So that nourishment is really, really important for those of you that feel excited about this. That nourishment, allow yourself that source of nourishment, and you will feel the vibrational shifts and that harmony and that peace inside of you. Because that's allowing yourself to be loved and to be love as source. You're deserving of it, you're worthy of it. And that transcends and that overrides all of those imprints and turbulences that are held in unworthiness. And they go right through every body. They go to the physical body, it goes to the mental body, it goes to the emotional body, it goes to your water body, it goes to the etheric body. This is why this nourishment is so key. It's so key. And if it's anyone, the most important thing that any person can teach that we've taught over the years, it's self-love. That is the nourishment of source. And it will help you transcend all of the turbulences that we come with, because we do. That's what makes that mastery. That's that dense and light tug and pull, that infinite catalyst. You can't have your enlightenment without the catalysm. You can't. You can't have enlightenment if you're always neutral. That neutral is your center point, but you will have those growth moments. You will. Because that's how you come to that full love and compassion to make higher vibrational choices that put you on a new vibrational experience. That's why self-love is so important. Self-love is so important. That's the nourishment of source. And you can allow it and invoke it and invite it in any moment to heal you, to allow you to catapult up into something new. So work with those if you so desire. If you're excited, I'm really excited about it, because I feel a new birth. I've come here as a new birth. And this is why the cards that came to me today, as we said earlier, were the grasshopper, taking a new leap of faith. And the one that came to other was the vibration of the rabbit, which is now is a lucky time. It's a lucky time for you to start manifesting and start actually seeing things unfold quite miraculously because you're allowing yourself this love, to be that vibrational infinite. And things will just unfold miraculously. Another quick story I just wanted to mention is that as I've been working with this crystalline energy and awakening to it, as we talked about earlier, is that the crystalline energy in all life. What I've been noticing is that the bees, I'm really connected with insects and the bees will just show up inside my house, even though, you know, we might have one door that's open that much, a little tiny crack. And somehow the bees will always find their way in the house. And last night at 10:30, as I was sitting down for my evening prayers and my evening invocations and my communication and communion with God and Source Creator, and I was just sitting there in prayer. And just as my prayer ended, and Source was saying that there's so many beautiful things awaiting for you, and this bee just appeared out of my left shoulder. I heard this buzzing out of my left ear, and my patio was maybe open that much, and I didn't hear any buzzing to the hour that I was in there, no buzzing whatsoever, but just popped this bee out of the corner and just started buzzing. And so I took a little cup and I placed it outside, but these bees will show up and they'll start banging, you know, in the windows of wherever I am, because those bees are connecting with your crystalline consciousness and they want to interact and co-create with you. And so just know that your crystalline energy reaches far and wide, and you'll start to recognize and you'll play with these in nature. And my kids always say, Mommy, the bees are at the window again. You know, the bees want to play with you. And the bees they keep knocking at the windows to get in. So, and you'll see them fly into the windows and stuff, but it's your crystalline acknowledgement. It's your crystalline awareness that you're now bigger and grander and wider than you thought. You're one with your field. You're one with all God things. And so acknowledge it and know it and own it and claim it and play with it and be it, because you are.
Thank you so much. I feel like I've learned more than I ever have today. That's funny.
You're beautiful. So if you like, if all of you would like, if you want this recording, it might be on our website in a couple of days. If you want the recording right away, just send me an email and I'll send it out to you as an attachment so that you can have the recording. Otherwise, it will be on our website and it will be on our YouTube for those that so desire. But we also like to think that for those that want to send us a donation of whatever you can, just to keep our illustrations and stuff going, we're going to have new illustrations come out. And our newsletters, hopefully coming out on a regular basis starting September. Our PayPal is Joanna@paypal.com. And then we can continue the flow of abundance and sharing. So anybody that please feel free to donate and assist us in these, because we like to offer these for free. We will be having classes in September, and these classes will be about more of my excitement to work with the new consciousness templates and how we co-create with them, how we manifest from this essence of God space of the infinite particles and essence that we are as God, the song of God. And also it will include all sacred sounds and light language, and because that's how we activate these new templates. And so those will be the new classes. And we hope to also, that I've told some of you, doing land activation. So I'll be traveling to certain points of land and I'll just send an email out saying this is where I'll be. And those that really want to commune and partake in those sacred ceremonies and activations and healings can join us. And there will be probably, a group or sacred communion where we share a channel, a meditation, and sacred love and sacred act invocations. So we'll just get together for a small group communion, so that my intentions are that we're setting up all over the world these beautiful intentions of sacred community. And these sacred community are the activations of the land, the activations of song and sound, however they unfold. I'm going to leave it to Source, but we'll have the monthly classes and, sacred land energies to work with. So that we're inspired. We're inspired to work with our Gaia consciousness, which is really, really important to anchoring these manifestations of higher dimensional light and love. Mm-hmm. So we thank you, dear lighted ones. So connect with us, and if you want this on an email or a video, otherwise it will be on our website. Petra usually gets them up within 2 days. And we have a sacred community. There is a sacred tribe community on our website that as soon as she loads something, I think an email goes out quite automatically, I think. And if you're logged into the community, you just get that in your email box, and then you click on it and it will lead you to whatever videos are new. And then you can use chat. There's chat potential there too, that you can connect with other people or just connect on the web, the videos, and just put your comments or whatever. So we're trying to have a little bit more interactive for those that really want to connect with Sacred Soul Tribe. So remember, dear lighted ones, go forward. This is a big Lion's Gate. Lots and lots of water, lots of grounding, lots of self-care. Give yourself time to reflect. You know, gift yourself that meditation and invocation with Source Creator on what it is you want to experience as your creative blessings. And know that you have the grasshopper energy with you today to take leaps into the unknown and just honor and anchor that into your vibration of playfulness. So just know that. And we send lots of love, and we love you, and you're blessed. So thank you.
Thank you. I love you.
Thank you. Love you.